The Cora function found within the built-ins, the Functions tab, and the Container folder helps us rearrange subcontainers within our scene tree. It's very helpful when we have a huge scene with a lot of containers and subcontainers. It will help us organize this. So to set this up, we have a scene here. Basically, we'll open this up and just try and demonstrate this plugin using the Cora in here. And you can see when I open up my scene tree here, we have a lot of containers. So if we go into tree and I expand all of these containers, you'll be able to see how many subcontainers that we have within the tree here. And as I rotate my scene here, you can just see that we have this arranged out in a grid-like fashion. So within this tree, I also have scattered about some of these subcontainers an alpha function, and some of them also have a key function on them as well. So I'm going to go back into my built-ins tab. I'm going to grab this Cora function and I'm going to drag it down onto my main top container. I'm going to click on my Cora function, and what I want to do first is sort these or rearrange these containers here. And let's go into the tree view so that we can see it a little bit better. And within the Cora function, I want to rearrange or sort these containers based on the alpha or the key. So the containers that have an alpha are scattered below down here, and some of them that have a key are scattered even further down. So if I want to rearrange these and put them at the top or the bottom of the scene tree, I can do that. Under criteria, first I'm going to select alpha, and then under the mode, I'm going to choose, do I want it to be the lower first or the highest first? Let's try the highest first, and then I'm going to hit execute. And when I did that, what it did is rearrange this container that had the alpha on it onto the very top of it. So as I close up my containers now, you can see that it threw the one that had the alpha function on it into the top of the scene tree. Now if we go over here and try to use it with the key, we'll hit execute and we'll change it to highest first again. And let's hit execute, and now what it did is threw that container with the key on it to the very top. What's more, we have subcontainers within each thing here. So within this particular group, this no name group here, I have 4 subcontainers, and I can use the Cora function on these too. So if I hide this one right now, you can see that it's all the way on the left hand side. And if we come down to each individual subcontainer, you can see that the first group here that I'm hiding is in the very back. So if I come to my Cora, I want to separate this criteria by the X. I'm going to select X here. I'm going to hit execute. And now what it did is rearrange this so that the first container based on the X is at the top of the subtree. And again, we can copy this down to the next one, and let's say if we wanted to base it on the Z or the Y, we could hit execute, and it's going to rearrange those containers based on where those containers are set on the Y or the Z scale.